We're going fishing. Hey guys, I got a short video today. Without a doubt, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that my favorite way of fishing is topwater frog. But the question I got asked is how to use a bait caster. Actually, this is the frog I'm throwing today, and they're not biting. So I thought I'd show you how to use a bait casting reel. Now, they're not as hard as you may think. What I've got today is the rod and reel I use all the time. It's an Abu Garcia Black Max. Now, this is a $60 setup, and it works fine. I've got a $200 setup, Quantum. I can't cast that thing to save my life. So this is, like I said, an Abu Garcia Black Max. First thing you want to do is set the brakes on full. Okay, that'll help prevent some backlash. But what you want to do is, I'm going to try and back up here. When you push the button, you see the, hopefully you can see that, the mouse falls, okay, all by itself. You do that by the tensioning wheel on the side here. So if I tighten the tensioning wheel up and I push the button, it doesn't fall. What you want to do is now back off that tensioning wheel just until it starts to fall. Right like that. That's allowing just enough release on the tension for the lure to fall by itself. When you cast, all you do is feather the top of the wheel with your thumb. When it hits the water, you push down on the reel to stop it. That'll stop any other line from coming out. So try and demonstrate that. So you want to make your cast either overhand, side hand, throw it out, and push down on the wheel when it gets to the water. I'll do that again. Push it down and hold it. Release. You're going to point the rod where you want the lure to go. So when it gets to where it's going, you're going to release off the spool with your thumb and just feather it. As soon as it hits the water, you want to push down on the reel, on the spool, so that no more line comes out. If you do find yourself with a backlash, don't panic. Move the spool around until you find out where the knot is, or the tangle is. Put your thumb down on it real tight, and then reel it. What that does is loosen up the knot. Then you'll work your string out, and hopefully your knot comes out. More often than not, it does. Unless you got an absolute bird's nest that a crow could live in, you might want to just cut it off and start over again. So I'll show you one more time. We got the tensioner wheel set to where the lure is just going to start to drop on its own. Push the lever, keep your thumb on the spool, release the pressure on the spool when the tip of the rod gets to where you want the lure to go. When the lure hits the water, you put pressure back down on the spool. Sorry for that noisy car there, guys. And as with anything, you can't beat practice. So it doesn't matter what lure you're throwing, whether it's a jerk bait, crankbait, spinnerbait, or in my favorite, the frog. You set your spool so that the lure will just start to drop on its own. Have the brakes on full, and away you go. As you get more experienced with the reel, you can start releasing the brakes, which will allow everything to flow that much more smoother. That much more smoother. How's that for good grammar? Like I said, guys, don't get discouraged with the backlashes. This is a really fun way to fish. It's not new, obviously. And I've got some old reels that I'll throw in here. I'll show you this. These type of reels date way back, and I've got quite a collection of antique bait casting reels. I'll show you those in a second, but practice, 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 practice. And you can do everything with these. Well, there you have it, guys. That's how you use a bait casting rod. They're not hard. You just got to practice like with anything else. And like I said, I wish I could have caught a fish. Oh, my antique reels. Check this out. Alright, back home now. I had all these reels on display at one time, but we started doing some renovations, so I boxed them all up and never got them out. Let's see if we can find them. Let's see what we got. Oh boy. Have a look at this. Hopefully you can see that. Look at all those reels. There's about 30 of them in there. Alright, let's see what we got. As you can see, my wood wall is not finished. I got to put some shelves up. So that's about 13 reels there. I got another, I guess I got more than that. I got about 20 of them in here still. I'll set them aside. Let's see what we have. And by the way, a little noisy, but they all work. I doubt very much you could cast these like the Abu Garcia I have, but nevertheless, they're cool to have. This particular one here is a Fluger. It's got a metal spool. The reason I point that out is because this one here doesn't have a name on it that I can see, but it's got some pretty cool engraving on it. Not sure why or whose make that is. But it has a cork spool. I just found the name. This is a Mercury spool. Sorry, Mercury reel. I've got more cork ones. I got Flugers, Shakespeare's. This is a Shakespeare 1920. It's even got the multicolored string on it. So, yeah, if you guys have a collection, let me know in the comments below. I thought it was about time I get these back out and get them back up on the wall. Just not sure where she's going to let me put them. I tried to get them on the wood wall behind me here, but she put the brakes on that one. Don't get me wrong, she's fantastic, but my idea of decorating and hers aren't exactly the same thing. By the way, guys, I did not buy all those reels and the few rods, glass rods that I have. I got those from my father. My father was a collector, and you'll see him in some upcoming videos as we go out walleye fishing. We call him Pop. So thanks, Pop, for the rods and all those reels. Probably about 30 of them there. I appreciate it very much. They will be handed down to my kids. This morning, we've had a couple of warm days. I mean, warm days. This morning, cold front came through last night and obviously put the brakes on everything. But I did get questioned, like I said earlier, about using a bait casting rod and reel setup. You don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a rod and reel. Like I said, that Abu Garcia Black Max that I use, I've had that for a couple of years, and that's my go-to rod. It was $60. I bought it. Obviously, I'm Canadian, but I bought it in Michigan. for $60, and it works just fine. I've got, like I mentioned earlier, I got the Quantum set up. It's $240, and I got that here. Couldn't cast that to save my life, so this goes to show you that expensive is not always better. But what I might do this summer is grab one of these reels. I also got some glass rods as well. Grab some of these that are actually in pretty good working order. Put it on a rod and go see if I can catch fish with it. That might be pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you learned something today. Using a bait casting rod and reel it's not hard. It just takes practice. And once you get to learn how to use it, you know, it'll make fishing a whole lot more fun. Not that it's not fun to begin with. It's actually quite enjoyable. So, one thing I do want to show you, I've only ever seen one of these. Okay. I found this at a thrift store, and it's made by Bronson, B-R-O-N-S-O-N, and it's a Bronson Commander 850. If you've ever seen one of these, because I haven't until I bought it, let me know. If you got one, by all means, shoot me a comment and let me know. Because, I mean, I haven't used it, but all your drag and everything is right here in the center spool, which I thought was rather different. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. No fish, but I addressed that question I had with regards to using a bait casting reel. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter whether you're 8, 9, 10, 28, 48, 58. Anybody can learn how to use one. It just takes a little bit of practice. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like our videos, share our videos, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to enjoy the outdoors. Happy hunting and fishing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our videos. Subscribe our videos. Yeah, back to that now. You can start releasing the brakes, which will allow everything to flow that much more smoother. That much more smoother. How's that for good grammar? By the way, guys, just to clarify, I did not buy all those rods. Dummy. She put the brakes on that one. Don't get me wrong, she's fantastic, but my idea of decorating and hers aren't exactly the same thing.